Just like that, new music, new year, new attitude, and but the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series is not new. Welcome. I appreciate you being here today. Chances are right now you're doing one of three things. You are watching live on Facebook, you're watching the video on YouTube or LinkedIn, or you are listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast player. In any event, today is Friday, and as we do every Friday, we bring in our financial guru, Phillip Washington Jr., our financial philosopher.
How's it going, Mansfieldians?
And before we get into our topic of the day, I want to put you to the test because it kind of relates to the topic. And I know that you love Louisiana cooking.
Absolutely.
What is the trinity in Louisiana cooking?
Look, you're going to put me on the spot like that? That's super easy, though. It's bell pepper, onions, celery, onions, and, over here.
And bell peppers.
Yeah, bell peppers, yeah.
Yeah, celery, onion, and bell peppers. See, and for some reason I thought it was garlic, but...
Yeah, but garlic is like kind of like a ease. It's to add to most of the stuff. What my mom was thinking about, because I always add too... I think that's where my mind went. My mind went to celery, and then for decorations, and this is not part of the Trinity. What's the is it green onion that you add to the top for like the?
Oh yeah, green onions or scallions, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's for like the beauty, the added beauty on top.
Sure. So the reason I asked you the Trinity is because today we are talking about three simple ways to reach financial independence, the Trinity of financial independence. You see how I work that in?
I like that. Clever.
And I know you're a big fan of gumbo and which starts with the Trinity.
Clever. I like that.
Well, so
the Trinity of wealth.
Yes, the Trinity of wealth. And let's really get into it, going with the simplicity of it, going back to really Financial 101. What is financial independence?
So financial independence is when you have enough investment income to replace your work income, wage income, the income that you earn from your physical efforts.
How do we achieve getting enough money to replace what we earned as a wage or a business income?
Yep. So and let me delineate, because business income is one of the ways, but I wanna say, so like we all earn an income whether we own a business or we have a wage, and from our efforts or us actually doing something, like exerting some effort. And as a business owner, a lot of times we don't think about taking out the income that we earn from a business, from which part is from like wage and which part is like passive income. Because for a lot of business owners, we're in a stage where most of what we do is like actually not passive income. It's very active. But some business owners are at a point where they can look at both of them, because they may have they pay themselves a salary, and then they may get distributions at the end of the year, which that's more of the passive income. So I want to make the delineation, because the three ways that you do it is going to be some combination, or one of them is going to be rental income, so owning real estate, getting rental income. Other one is what I call passive income from investments in stocks, bonds, crypto. So from those three, you can get interest income, dividends, or capital gain income. And then the third one is business passive income. But the difference with the business is a lot of people think the only way you're going to get money from a business is to sell your business and then take the money and invest it. Mm-hmm. But they overlook the fact that no, like if you build a great business and you hire a team and you train a team and you give them a system that they can run, and then you just become chairman of the board, which means they just report to you quarterly on what's going on with the business, and you may cast the vision, or you may find somebody else who catches the vision and run them, but you can create a passive check as a dividend from the business every single year, while they run the business, and you can run around the world and live your life and do everything you want to do while they run the business.
Wasn't that the principle of Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Absolutely. It's 100%.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Self-employed versus a business owner.
Right. I remember Kiyosaki, way back in, we're talking probably 1980s, was a guest on one of the talk shows that I produced back in talk radio. And he was telling the talk show host at that time, he says, you may think as a business owner, my business stops for me to have to be here today on the radio. He says, no. He says, I have people who run my business. There are people out there who are generating an income for me. And you don't have to own just one business. I mean, look at the sharks on Shark Tank that are investing their money in multiple businesses, and they don't have to be there to run them.
And that's the beautiful thing. I mean, that's the unlock. Once you take your mind out of the limitations of the traditional model of wealth building, where you only save for retirement and then you live on that paycheck for the rest of your life, and then you go, oh, I can save and invest money in retirement funds if I want to, but I can save and invest money into, a regular traditional brokerage account. And I like that because it gives you flexibility for the other businesses or real estate investments you're going to do. Because once you jump out of the retirement only world, then you jump into a world of unlimited possibilities where you say, oh, okay, I might be saving money in this brokerage account which one of the big things I recommend is having a shorter term goal than the big financial independence goal. So having a shorter term goal of a set amount of liquid cash that I think of it as like a base that I can build from. Because then from that base, then you can invest in real estate. Use your base as collateral for a business, right? And then another business. And then that business pays and invests in this business. And then you kind of just build and compound. And and like you said with Kiyosaki, once you understand, oh, all these things can be run by other people, right? Because my job becomes being the capital allocator to all of these businesses, right? Then you realize, oh, this limited number of what I thought I needed to make an income to be financially independent. When you build this out, the number like blows up real quick because you replace your original number by like 10 different businesses. So you now have 10 different income sources that might be paying you the $10,000 a month that you plan to have, right? And they're just coming in and you're like, oh man, like I don't, like I love looking at clients that go, I make so much money, I got to hire a team to help me decide what to do with all this money coming in.
And owning real estate or owning rental properties is a business in itself.
Absolutely.
And again, forming that team could be as simple as hiring a property manager. So now you've got someone on your team who's taking care of either one property or a series of properties, while, as you said, traveling the world.
Absolutely.
And you had on your podcast a few weeks ago, the Wealth Building Made Simple podcast, your guest, Rob the Realtor, who was talking about the BRRRR process of the BRRRR method of real estate. And that being, first of all, you have to buy, that's the B, repair, rent, refinance, and repeat.
I'm so glad you remembered that because you gave us a cheat sheet last time.
I did, and there's no cheat sheet this time. So that seems very simple. It does take time because you have to wait for your equity to build before you can refinance. But it's doable.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just a matter of like understanding it's possible, and then creating a plan for it, right? And this is where we help creating a plan for it. And then once you know you can do it, you build a plan for it, then you just, you watch how things begin to come together to help you take the necessary steps to reach the goal.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, the Bible states that one should have 7 or 8 sources of income.
Ecclesiastes 11:8.
Wow, that's impressive. That's right there, Ecclesiastes, and Very, very impressive. So, in the minute or so, you want to wrap up? You got any final words on the Trinity, the Holy Trinity of how to reach financial independence?
Yeah, I would just say, like, figure out the number, but then don't allow the number to scare you. Just allow the number to be an intention, and then focus all of your your thoughts on the next step. Break the goal down smaller, focus on the next step, because the big goal can scare you, and then find you a team that can help you translate each step into reality, and it'll happen in no time. But I'm saying it because for me personally, focusing on that large number becomes very unmotivating.
Mm-hmm.
It puts a lot of resistance up that just doesn't make the process fun. And so break it down.
Baby steps will get you there.
Steps. Absolutely.
If someone wanted to reach out to Phillip Washington Jr. to talk about baby steps or how to get to the ultimate goal, how can they reach out to you?
Best way is stonehillwealthmanagement.com. That's stonehillwealthmanagement.com.
That's Phillip Washington Jr. We do this every Friday right here on the podcast. And Phillip, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, you too.